implement more of those learnings and more of those sort of values and systems to improve their own business, and why should they as well? What's some of the value to that?
Maybe we can start by defining ESG and then go to cannabis, and I could do a couple of ideas for ESG in general, and then Ben's going to go to the nitty-gritty of it. First thing, well, it combines value creation, as in money, not values, and risk management. It was developed by long-winded investors, think pension funds in the US and the UK, who are looking for resilient companies into which they put their money. So the interests are to provide some view of what's to come in a company and in a volatile industry such as cannabis. That is clearly interesting for investors, but also for companies to know how to grow right. On that note.
To complete, I think ESG is particularly interesting for cannabis markets and industries for several reasons. First, they're nascent industries, nascent markets, so they're injecting ESG thinking and structuration is much easier than to attack frontally already larger established companies. So that's the one thing. The second is that they're usually quite open to this because they're adaptable, because they're always living through, regulations that are up and down and different in different other countries. So there's this agility, I think, that is structurally interesting to implement that. The third, I think is very, very important is that cannabis companies, even hemp companies, they have to almost show, in French we say, une patte blanche, and this means you have to be more transparent, more virtuous, and show more and give more resource and assurances to regulatory bodies than any other markets and industries. So there is the need to be in the front of that for cannabis companies in the larger sense. And I do think that because it's nascent, there's the capacity to really influence it in many different ways, because as we've said before, it's highly culturally linked and contextualized. So it can go in many, many different ways. If you have a certain, political, economic, cultural system, it's going to take inspiration from it. It's going to be structurally linked to that. So it means you can make your own thing, but the idea is to learn also from what has been done, what's being done currently outside and elsewhere, and to learn from that. And so because we have companies that are often very, attracted and in capacity to use innovative techniques because they have been refused tools that are existing for other companies in any other fields. I'm thinking about financial, insurance, but any kind, cannabis companies, they have another layer of difficulties. So usually they're quite keen to experiment and to be quite permeable to I think, new way of thinking.